Hey, good morning, my people. What's up? Hope and trust that all is going good. Today is what? Monday, the 20th day of April 2026, and the time right now is 10:21 a.m. Yes, the 20th. So we got what? 9 more days. What in April? April, right? April. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yes, yes, 9 more days to go. 9 more days to go before election day. The 10th day from now being election day. Yes, so things are looking up, looking up. I did a video a few days ago about a person or person's right not to vote if that is his or her choice. Right? Again, the video dealt with a person's right not to vote if it was his or her choice. I listened to Cruyff, I believe it's Cruyff Emmanuel, this morning on June's program, and I suspect that he might have seen the video or he might have heard of the video and he gave his opinion. I agree with 98% of the opinion that he shared this morning. 98%. I agree with him totally that voting is not or should not be about liking somebody. I agree with that. And I never ever said that in my video. If you go back and check, you will see that. I never spoke about not voting because you don't like somebody. Um, Most of the times, 90 something percent of the times, before I speak, I think about what I'm going to say and decide if I'm going to say it yes or no. So 90 something percent of the time I speak, I already thought about what I'm going to say. Being human, I'm not always that disciplined 100% of the way, but yeah, I normally think about what I'm going to say before I say it, especially doing these videos. Um, yeah, I need to be responsible. So I always think about that. So I agree with him with that. I also agree with him that one should think about the direction that one wants to see their country go in. I agree with that. I agree with that statement also. Person should think about that. Um, you know, I'm not gonna say much at this point in time before the upcoming general elections because I am aware that I do have some influence and I would prefer to have certain discussions after the general elections. I don't want to be like some other radio hosts that don't understand the power of their words and what it can or cannot do. So it's not that I can't have the discussion, no. But I think I want to wait until after the upcoming general election. I think so. We all have the right to free speech once we're not going to be slandering anybody. But even though we have the right to free speech, as they say, we don't have the right to go into a movie house and scream fire when there's no fire because there's consequences to that. So I just wanted to go on record that I did hear the contribution, Cruyff, and I agreed with 98% of what you said. I do agree with that. Um, but as I said, I wouldn't say much more now at this point in time. I wouldn't say much more now at this point in time. But I will maintain that persons have the right to choose if they don't want to vote. If that's what they want, if that's their choice. If you don't want to vote, you don't want to vote. And this idea that persons have when they say, "Oh, if you don't vote, it's a vote for the government." As I said on the video, and I'll say again, maybe people ought to be thinking that persons are not voting because they have a problem with you. You. what they have seen from you in opposition, how they have seen you operate in opposition, you know? And I save these videos. I save these videos because I recognize that in time, it's always good to look back on certain things. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it until after, so I won't talk about it until after. But I just wanted to let Christ know. I did hear your comment, my friend, and again, as I said, I agree 90% of what you said, but I never ever said that persons should not vote because they don't like somebody. I never said that. I would never say such a thing because I understand the greater good. Um, but as I said, I'm not going to be like some of my other radio friends who don't appreciate the power of their words and what it can or cannot do. So after the election, I'm sure there will be space, God's sparing life, for us to have the discussion. Bless up, my people. Keep safe. Be safe on the road. If you're driving, look out for the other man or the other woman who may be behind the wheel of the other vehicle. Take care, my people. Bless up.